Okay.
There we go. Hi, this is Laurie,
This is Peter.
and we're with action movie reviews. I know.
Okay.
Action movies. We're
Movie.
not just doing action movies, although this is kind of pretty much an action movie, I guess.
I
Is it
guess
an
it
action
is.
movie? It has
Well,
action.
that has action.
It does have action, but is it an action movie? We will discuss.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it's definitely. I'm gonna do a spoiler. It's a Brad Pitt movie.
It is a Brad Pitt movie, and I don't mind that. Not
Okay.
for the reasons some people may think. Okay, so we're here. This F1 the movie. I just realized that's the whole title.
Oh.
It's F1 the movie,
Okay. Oh, okay.
not just F1.
I thought you were F1.
F1, F1. Anyway, so F1 the movie was just out this summer, just recently, maybe a few weeks ago, within the past month. And it stars Brad Pitt and Javier Bardem, whose name I could not remember while we were watching the movie. I kept calling him Anton Chigurh, because that's who he was in No Country for Old Men. Remember the bad guy from No Country for Old Men?
There's
the
no
haircut?
country for old men.
No, this is No Country. There's no driving for old men in this movie. So Brad Pitt, Javier Bardem, Damson Idris, which is the young black guy driver, and Carrie
They want
Condon.
to name all the black people the same name.
I know. It's like that. Idris is a common name. Although, and this is directed by Joseph Kosinski. Kosinski. I don't know. What am I drinking tonight? There's not much wine left in this. It's mostly fruit.
Okay. Well,
But
that is
I
right.
thought that name looked familiar. I was like, I've seen that name before. Why is it kind of ticking some boxes? And Joseph, and forgive me for messing up your name, Kosinski, directed Maverick Top Gun, the Top Gun sequel.
Okay, and that was a very good.
That was a
sequel.
great movie.
Yes, it was.
So it was like, okay, this is something. So what we have, this movie seems to be about Brad Pitt plays this kind of old has-been or never was auto racer.
Which
that
seems
pulled.
to be a thing.
Has been auto racers or just has
right, has been auto racers.
or never was being pulled out.
Trying to come in and teach the young guy.
Yeah, he gets recruited by Javier Bardem to join his Formula One racing team because
Right.
they need somebody with this experience to teach the young, talented rookie driver a thing or two. So
Yeah.
this movie could be that's a cliche already going in, that kind of whole conceit and concept. So it's you wonder, but I have to say they didn't. While it kind of hit the same beats, it didn't hit them hard like most movies would do.
Well, when you say that didn't hit them hard,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't force it.
They didn't force it. No,
Yes.
it was, and that's what one of the reasons why I like Brad. In the last few years, I've really liked Brad Pitt. He's really good at picking the movies he picks. He's very thoughtful about the roles he takes on.
Yes, and
So-
that's something that I learned from you.
Yeah.
And that's very true.
Very true. And while I like his acting performance in this his acting performance in this was not as that far different from his character in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood to me.
Yes.
Which was a better performance from him.
Way better.
But a similar character. But like I said, this movie has very, it's already lined up to be kind of like the typical story, cliched story, but they kind of handle it differently because they're aware of that. So it's like we're not gonna do it the typical way you would do it.
But I like his.
We're not gonna
his
reach over
interacting
Mhm.
with the
Well, it's more. It's not about the old guy coming to teach the young kid, something.
Exactly.
It's they both had to learn something. They
Right.
both had to learn about work. They had to get over their egos and work together.
Yeah.
And I think that's
But the
where.
but the other thing I really like, and I'm sleeping on her name.
Okay.
I like
Was it
the interacting with Brad Pitt and the lady
who was designing the car? Who designed the car? That's the actress Carrie Condon. I kept looking at her. It's like she looks familiar. I cannot think of what her name is, and I've heard her name. I would have never tied her name to her face. I've heard her name before, and I know I've seen her in stuff. And she's,
Yeah, I wouldn't have tied her up either.
No, I wouldn't have. Yeah, it's a name I'm very familiar with.
Yeah.
She gets a lot of acclaim, and she's very good in this. And
She
yeah,
is.
it's a great role she plays. And yeah, that's one of the things. It's kind of like this movie could easily
Right.
fall for a lot of cliches, but
Right.
it's.
But I like the
way it's
the
acted,
writing
the
of her
present,
character.
and it gets into like Formula One racing, like. The high tech is like, holy shit, this looks like NASA.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure all racing is this.
Yeah, and I love the part of I want to be able to drive in dirty air.
Oh, what do you mean? Oh, okay.
Where Brad
I might
Pitt
have-
was talking about, can you design the car
Okay.
to go in dirty air?
Okay. He talks about actually being in the car and the
Right.
different things you experience being on the road, like the air, the shifts,
Right.
like that you can't simulate in a
Right.
computer. And when they're
Right.
designing a car, that's what they're doing. But you have to have
And-
that driver
And that
on the
is-
road experiences.
That
and a
is
different
so
thing.
beautiful, the
Mhm.
way that all develops.
Mhm. You came out loving this because you're a fan of auto racing, but you weren't
I am.
particularly a fan of Formula One.
Right. I love Indy and NASCAR.
Uh-huh.
Formula One, I'm like, okay,
Okay.
it's there.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, is like Formula One. I know they're all very expensive sports, but
Very.
like NASCAR has that good old boy kind of backwoods. Well, that because it was based on like the
Yes. The
moonshine
moonshine
runners from the past. They needed fast cars to escape the police and chasing them down.
Yeah.
But so that kind of like country bumpkin thing, which you can
Yes.
mistake them for. But there's also this. It's highly sophisticated machines we're talking about here.
Mhm.
Whereas Formula One, I think, kind of has the Gucci reputation, probably of the auto set.
Yeah. Which I actually hate,
Mhm.
but this movie made me love it.
Okay. Yeah, and it is. It's kind of like they're the Rolls Royce, the Gucci,
Yes.
the high, extremely European
Yeah. They are
fashion design.
they are all rocket scientists.
In rocket science, yeah, I know, but so it was interesting to kind of have a peek into that world. And they did mention they filmed a lot of these. The scenes were filmed at the Grand Prix races in Europe. A lot of Grand Prix races in Europe, and but they did have people from that world. I think they had somebody advising as well.
Right.
So, and, I'm sure liberties are taken, but it was just really interesting to kind of have a peek into that world. And it's like,
Yes.
wow, it's quite fascinating in that way. It's probably more fascinating than the actual story they were telling for the characters, maybe.
It could be,
Mhm.
but it was fantastic.
Yeah. Okay.
And I guess it's really good for me because, like I said, I like NASCAR, or as people of my generation remember, Winston Cup.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, because they used to be it used to be sponsored by a cigarette company.
Oh, Winston cigarettes. Oh my gosh. So now one of the things I will say, it's kind of well, my screen is right back there still. Kind of coming off. Visually it looked great. The race scenes are great. It may be kind of felt I wasn't as engaged with it because within the last year or two we had the story Gran Turismo,
Yes.
which was a movie I really liked. And
I really liked
got
it
into
too.
to it. So I don't know.
I was afraid this movie, F1, might be Gran Turismo 2.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I was so
I mean,
surprised.
kind of, there
I
are
was
there are kind of some moments, plot moments that happen that are similar to that movie in a way.
yeah, but it's like, to me, they did that plot and then moved into another area, and it completely
They kept going,
changed it.
yeah, and they didn't linger on it. Like, you know, Gran Turismo might hit all the cliches a little harder than hits it a little harder than this one.
Yes.
But I think one of the things that kind of made that movie a little more interesting to me, because it was coming from a different angle, is that it wasn't the tired old the teaches
Right.
the kid new tricks things, but we're gonna kind of twist it for you, so it's not exactly that. It was this kid learned on video games, and how does he adapt into an actual environment?
Because I really liked Ford versus Ferrari.
And I didn't.
And
and that's
I was
the other
just
thing.
like, I really liked it because I do understand.
Now
Carol
that movie hit
Shelby.
all the cliches hard.
Yeah.
It did. It did.
Yeah.
I mean, it was telling his story, and again, I can't think of Batman's name right now. God damn.
Bruce Wayne.
Bruce, no! Who was in the movie? He's always great in movies and stuff, so he was the best part. Probably the best part of that. I was like, I wish they didn't lean so. A person's story is already interesting. You don't have to lean so heavily into the cliches and it was a very Hollywood telling of that.
But
which is
Hollywood telling, I'm right there. I really like Bullet.
I've never seen Bullet, so.
Oh, it's the best car chase ever.
I've heard good things about Bullet, so one of these days.
Yeah.
So, but Ford versus Ferrari just felt like it was too much done in the Hollywood factory, whereas a couple of the other two, like Gran Turismo and F1, felt like you had more input from the auto.
Yes.
From the actual people. It's particularly this one, like just getting into what that whole environment is like.
But too, I guess one of the things that I loved, because of how they did it, it was, we're going to cheat, even though we're not going to cheat.
What, in this movie?
In Ford versus Ferrari.
Ford versus Ferrari. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's just, you don't have to cliche it up. It's it's Kevin Costner knocking down the whites only sign and one of Hidden Figures. It's like, it's just kind of like, okay, it just only, as someone said, only Kevin Costner can get away with that in a movie. Otherwise, it's
like
kind of
right now. I wish I had a wrench in my hand.
Why?
Because that's what they were always wanting to throw.
Who?
In
what?
Ford versus Ferrari.
It's been a few years since I watched that. It was just a little too Hollywood for me.
Okay.
And these kind of, they dial back that, Hollywood's heavy hand for these. It's like, we know how to like really get the audience kind of, we just have to do this way. Come on now, don't do it too hard.
Yes, and I guess that's something for me. I'm right there. Take me.
Yeah, I mean, they do it because it's effective, but you know.
But then I've noticed that lately, with Hollywood or the screenwriters too, they're going, we're gonna do it. I'm like, oh yeah, they're getting ready to do it. We take a little leg, we show a little leg, then we take it back.
All right, but
so you've got.
Well, I'm sometimes I'm fine with it. I just wasn't. I didn't enjoy that movie enough for them to like. It's like, come on, don't do this. Don't do it on this movie. Because anyway, I could get into some other stuff, but So, any other thoughts on F1, the movie?
I like it. I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right there in the car with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting in my chair,
Mm-hmm.
gripping.
Okay. Well, I guess it's a great looking film.
Yes.
The racing scenes are really cool. The storyline doesn't go. It is. It does go into the cliches, but it gives you a nice. Uh, it's refreshing. Like I said, they don't lean so heavy into them, and they try
Mhm.
to like, okay, we're not. We could easily fall for this trope, but
Right.
we're not. You know, we're gonna balance this out, the storyline out. So, yeah, I like the movie. You know, I
Mhm.
don't know if it's gonna be. I still like Gran Turismo had a bigger effect on me for some reason. Maybe because
Mhm.
it did lean into some cliches a little heavier. So, but it was new to me, and this one was like, okay, it's kind of, and it was a different angle than like
Right.
the where they're going with this one. But so that's F1. Any final thoughts from you, or just like you just like you just did that, right?
The cars are just a little bit uh, let's say loose and just
Mm.
they're they're too easily tore up. But I
Oh,
think that
those
is
cars,
but I think that's
Formula One
about
cars.
what it is.
Uh huh. Uh huh. I have to look up something real quick. But anyway, so that's F1. It's available for stream at home. It looks like it was an Apple TV
Mm.
plus whatever that thing is called production. So I wouldn't be surprised it ends up there ultimately on the streaming service. But it's worth a watch. It's worth
Yeah,
a
I
check
think
out. It's
so.
an enjoyable
It's
watch, I think.
fun.
Yeah, it's good. So well done movie. Yeah.
It was.
All right, and we are out
We are out.
like the Formula One out of the start gate. I don't know.
Like,
They don't have a start gate, do they?
well, they do on
We gotta warm up our tires
the
here.
little downhill things.
I don't know. We out.
We out.
I press stop.